It's
chill.
in your comfort
I'm a lot more able to talk when I get nervous. I'll just play some stupid riff and sing some high-pitched note that's way out of my league. Is that cool with everybody?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Okay, so, yeah, do your thing. Okay, all right, so, yeah, I've been here for what? This is our third week?
32.
In the
We're
youth
with
group. We've been
youth
coming to the church
group.
for like a couple of months now. This is our third week in the youth group, and you know, I as soon as I came in, I was like, you know what, this is somewhere where I feel like, you know, God's really needs me to be here. And when I kind of walked in on you guys doing the whole Path of Hurt series and talking about, you know, hurt and that kind of thing, and actually the week I came in, it was Tim actually talking about help from hurt, and God really spoke to me. He's like, you know what, I really think that you guys should, you should let these kids know where you've been and what you've gone through. So I really felt led by my heart. I thought you cared about it, and I guess this is the right way to do it. So we're going to do it this way, and I'm going to hold this guitar because this is like my shield from all the mean looks that people could possibly give me because I'm awkward in front of people. I don't not play music. Okay, so I guess we can just start off, you know, I was born 87. I'm 23. My birthday was like 2 weeks ago, so that was pretty cool. I just turned 23. I grew up not much different from a lot of kids that are here now. You know, growing up in church, I was, you know, I was not a pastor's kid, but, you know, I was a deacon's kid, and, you know, my grandpa was a deacon, and, you know, there was a lot of people that I was really prominent in church. I was always in their youth group, Sunday mornings, you know, whatever. I was always there. So I never really questioned my faith. It was always one of those things where it's like, I knew God's there. God's going to take care of me because I believe in Him, and there's no reason not to. Skipping back a little bit, I'm gonna kind of bounce around a lot because, like I said, I'm not really good. So, when I was 2 years old, my father decided he didn't want me anymore, so he left, and he didn't really give us any warning. He just kind of packed his stuff and said, you know what, you're not really, you know, this isn't really working out for me. I'm gonna have to go. And there's been a lot of argument over, you know, who started and where it went and that kind of thing. But bottom line is, I've pretty much been raised by my mom my entire life. But it was never really something that that I was like, you know, why would you do this to me, God, that kind of thing. Because when I was about 4, my mom got married to a new guy. His name is Matt, and he's basically been my dad. And I can never ask for anybody better than him. He's awesome. He's one of those guys that is not funny, but like because he's so incredibly unfunny that like he's really funny. He's one of those guys where like you'll be watching a movie and it'll be like some teeny bopper movie. He goes, oh, this is where they shoot him in the face, right? And then he'll just walk away. And like, and it was not really funny, but because it's him and because he's trying and making a legitimate effort, you're like, that was a really good dad joke. So that's kind of that's just the kind of guy he is. Extremely supportive and not exactly funny, but just the nicest guy you'll ever meet in your life. And so I was really blessed to have him in my life. You know, to kind of take that place of the father that wasn't always there. So that was never really something I questioned about my faith. I was always like, you know, I was a Christian growing up really young, you know. And then, you know, when I was about 14, I picked up a guitar the first time. And I was like, this is really cool. This would be a really good way for me to pick up girls because that's what every guy in the entire world ever does when they want to pick up girls. They pick up a guitar. That's the only reason the guy will ever pick up a guitar at first. Maybe later, there's a different reason, but at first, it's to pick up girls, I guarantee it. And if they tell you anything different, they're lying to you. And I'm looking at you, guitar players. If there's any in here, you're doing it for the girls.
Everyone looks at like Joseph.
I let you go. I'm not calling you out, but you know it's true. Okay, so yeah, about 15, you know, and my best friend in the entire world, Chuck, was his name was Chuck. I'll say Chuck. That's him. And you guys tell I'm super nervous.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah. Not Chuck Norris. He's actually, I think, honestly, God, I think he's the one guy in the world that could actually beat up Chuck Norris because he's that beastly. He's incredible. He's actually an astronaut, so that's pretty impressive.
That's awesome.
Does he play the spaceship?
Yeah, he's an astronaut.
No.
That would be an astronaut. Anyway, so my best friend, you know, started playing, and another one of my good friends, Randall, was actually at Garrett's position. He was a youth pastor, and he wanted me to start, you know, learning how to, you know, play and, you know, maybe try to lead worship or something at some point. And when I started picking up music and as far as worship goes, it immediately felt right. It felt like, you know, this is where I'm called to be. I'm called to be here with these youth group, with these kids, and lead their worship and be able to be there for them. And from when I was about 15 on, it was just like, this is exactly where I belong. You know, this is not something that I have to question. This is just, it feels right. I picked it up really quickly, and this is exactly where I belong. Like I said, I'm not a speaker. I'm not very technically savvy. I can't even like start my computer without it breaking. I'm pretty terrible. But when I'm holding this guitar, it feels right. So anyway, so yeah, I did a lot of worship. You know, growing up early in high school, and even for like you know, high school itself, I was a worship leader for the high school Christian groups, and even up into college, I was always kind of the guy with the guitar. And because of that, I kind of had this image that I was very loud and funny, and everybody kind of knew who I was because of the position that I had. You know, people knew who I was because I was the guy that was always walking around with a guitar in high school for no reason at all, because that's just what I did. So I kind of had the reputation of being a lot louder guy. So, but instantly I was pretty well known. Not to not to brag or anything. It's not a good thing, but I was really loud, like really loud. So because of that, I met a girl, and we dated for a long time, and it didn't work out. You know, it was about 2 years. We dated for like 2 years, and she broke up with me because she was with somebody else, and it didn't work out. And that was the first, like, heartbreak thing, kind of, high school, your life is over, or break your guitar and, wreck your car because you can't live your life because some girl broke up with you, even though she's, 20 minutes down the road, and you can still egg her house. Guilty. No, I'm just kidding, I didn't egg her house. I do not condone egging houses, don't do it. Talking to you. No. So, I say all the things that I'm going to say tonight just to let you guys know that everything that's happened to me in my life has been ultimately for God's glory. And, I've been through a lot, and a lot of it I'll talk about tonight, and a lot of it I'll kind of be brief about just because it's kind of painful to talk about. But it's all for the glory of God, and it got me where I am today. So nothing. You need to know that everything that I'm saying is not to bring myself up or bring myself down or anything like that. It's just what I feel you guys need to know because of what we're going through now. Probably should have opened with that. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so where was I? Okay, I was in high school. So this girl broke up with me, and the only friend that I really had that was not a guy, her name was Erin, and she lived directly across the street from my house from when I was like 7 until until I decided to move out here. She literally lived from like here to the youth group room from my house my whole life. So she was basically, always there no matter what. And we got to be really, really good friends. And she became like, like my little sister. She was a couple years younger than me. And so she was one of those girls that was one of the guys. You could wrestle with her and that kind of thing. She wouldn't get all upset about it. She was just a kind of a tomboy. But we got really close. And she became my sister, for lack of a better term. So anyway, so about my senior year of high school was when stuff started to change. My stepdad, Matt, the guy who was here when after I was like 3. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Later. The guy I said was my stepdad, and he's been my dad since I was about 3 years old. He actually kind of had a little bit of a nervous breakdown and left. He left us when I was about a senior in high school. And my mom, is everything cool?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so he left. When I was about a senior, no reasons. We didn't even know he left. He just packed his car up and kind of hit the road in the middle of the afternoon after church one day. And just decided he didn't want to be there anymore. So he left, and that it was extremely hard to deal with because I'm the oldest of 3, and I kind of had to be, the brother and the dad because he left for no reason. And so I would get home from school, and I would have to make dinner for everybody, and I would have to make sure the house was clean and do their laundry and make sure their clothes were set out because they're significantly younger than me. One of them's 6 years younger than me, and one of them's like 5. So they're a good bit younger than me. And me being 18 years old in high school, still in high school, coming home from school on a part-time job, washing dishes and folding laundry and making sure my mom, who's working 70 hours a week, can come home and not have to worry about their kids is extremely stressful on an 18-year-old. And it got to the point where I kind of had this mentality like for lack of a better term, I was their dad. Obviously I'm not, but I had that. Okay, well, you're not allowed to do this. You're grounded. And it really became very strenuous on me as a person because I don't know if anybody doesn't know me here. I try to be like the nicest guy in the history of the world, and having to have that personality where like you can't do that. Absolutely not. You're grounded. Go to your room. That kind of thing is really difficult for me because I don't like punishment or scolding or anything like that. I'm always like, it's not a big deal. Actually, me and Stephanie talk about that all the time because she'll get upset about something and I'll be like, it's not a big deal. And so to have to